How you doing? Welcome. This is your boy, the host with the most, but humble. I do mean humble. Dino Stradavis, aka Derek, and I'm here, of course, on a Monday to give you the very first episode of Tag In. These are only going to be on Mondays. Everything else is just going to be news. It's going to be like a podcast type form where I'll do news. I will do, of course, I'll do my news, and then I'll do the what I watch, which is Monday Night Raw, AEW, Rampage, NXT. What else do I do? Rampage and SmackDown. Those are what I'll be reviewing. But before I do the reviews, I'll bring in some news as well. But today on Mondays, the only thing that I will be doing on Mondays is just news. And I will do, if it's anything that happened like with pay-per-views or anything, I'll do those as well. Like today. And also I will put my 2 cents in here as well. It's all gonna be wrapped up in a nice little burrito, so I don't have so much stuff that I'm doing or whatnot. Hopefully I'll record hopefully once a day. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and send comments out as well. I love y'all for a million days if you do that for me or whatnot. So first and foremost, we are going to talk about AEW Revolution. We're going to do the results and whatnot first, and then we'll go into some news, and then I will talk about what I really want to talk about with my 2 cents, or just random thoughts. How about that? Random thoughts on my 2 cents. This is pretty much the exact same thing. So the results are in. I did watch a little bit of Revolution, or I did watch the snippets. No, I watched the show. Let me take it back. I watched the show. It's just the snippets are a little better. I like the snippets, but I did watch it from top to bottom. Really okay card. A lot of people praise the card. I thought it was an okay card. But let's get into it. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho. Now, with this match, the match was supposed to be that the Chris Jericho Appreciation Society was not supposed to be at ringside. They were not supposed to be at ringside. Ricky Starks gave a lot of offense. But once again, they cannot. They're like roaches. They come. That's what they do. They come. They scatter. So Sammy Guevara did come. He did get knocked out, of course, by Andrade, Action Andrade, or is his name Action Andrade? So he gets taken out or whatnot, and we get a Rochambeau for Ricky Starks to win the match. I love Louisiana people. I'm from Louisiana. I'm actually live in Louisiana, so I always give my shout outs to Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is one of my best wrestlers in one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. Huge fan of Ricky Starks. Congratulations. A lot of people do not get clean wins off of Chris Jericho, so make sure that AEW, please y'all make sure that we get some type of progression with Ricky Starks. Hopefully we get some type of beef between Ricky Starks and hopefully Powerhouse Hobbs when he gets that belt from Wardlow. Spoiler. But anyway, after that we get Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage, and this is a casket match. And of course we are literally doing a pass the torch type situation. Nothing really to go home about this match really. Lots of chair shots, almost a concerto by Christian. But we did get a out of that. Got into a snare trap. After that, we get him. Jungle Boy pushes Christian into the casket for him to win. Hopefully we are done with this. And we can move on. After that, we got the House of Black. The House of Black did defeat the Elite. Once again, nothing really to go home to on this match. It's a typical trios elite match. Um, I mean, I thought it was really good. We got some moments where, well, we did get a moment where it was just Kenny Omega in the ring, and all of House of Black is just surrounding him. We do get a bump by Julia. Beautiful Julia gets a bump. What else happened? Not really a lot to go home to. We did get, of course, a super kick party. And after that, we did get a win by, of course, the House of Black. Nice black mask for them to win and get those titles off of the Elite. Once again, I truly think that the Elite is truly checked out. I truly think that they are done with AEW. I think when the contracts are done, they are going to leave. They're going to either go back to New Japan or get that big paycheck with, of course, the WWE. After that, we got Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter did defeat, of course, Saraya and Ruby Soho to retain the title. I did think that Ruby was going to win and go her separate ways, but we did get a swerve where Ruby Soho did join Saraya and Toni Storm after Jamie Hayter rolled up Soho to retain the titles. I'm guessing they are doing like a NWO type montage where they're spray painting. They've been spray painting people for the longest, but now, you know, they beat up Britt Baker and, of course, Jamie Hayter and spray painted her. That was the end of that. So now we do know who Ruby did align with. So we'll see what goes on with that situation. After that, the second best match of the night, which was Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley in a Texas death match. When I tell you this match was crazy, I'll tell you it's not for the faint of heart. Now we got freaking Jon Moxley new special, which is putting your hand between two bricks. We got tons of barbed wire. Of course, I mean, if you wanted to bet on this, how fast Jon Moxley is going to start bleeding, I mean, come on, really, we know this. He's going to get a forehead like a Duel of the Butcher eventually, the way it's going. But we did get a beautiful buckshot lariat, and eventually Jon Moxley, believe it or not, tapped out. Tapped out from a chain wrapped around him and hanging from the ring, and he tapped out for Hangman Page to win the match. I mean, it was a really good match. I will tell anybody to go and check this match out. Second best match of the night. Wardlow versus Samoa Joe was truly a letdown. I will say this before we get into the Wardlow and Samoa Joe match. The card was not built to where the momentum and the hierarchy went. So I will probably I'm upset more with the match setup than the matches itself. So if you see me being a little judgmental, it's because the card wasn't set right. And you have a great match with Jon Moxley and Hangman Page, and you get this dud of a match with Wardlow and Samoa Joe. Once again, now we just found out, you know, Wardlow talked to JR about the passing of his father, so I was thinking that we were going to get more of a ruthless Wardlow, but we really didn't get that. We didn't get the Powerbomb Symphony, which was really not what's up. We actually got a submission where Samoa tapped out. I mean, it really wasn't the best. I would have actually put the Muscle Buster. I would have had some Wardlow do a Muscle Buster on Samoa Joe, but that didn't happen. It was not the best match. But, you know, Wardlow did retain the title. I mean, well, get the title, which is he's the new TNT champion. After that, we got another lackluster match. Not the best. I really wasn't a fan of it. We got the Guns. The Guns did defeat the Acclaimed, Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett and the Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I truly knew that the Guns were going to win this match. I didn't know what was going to happen at the end of this match, where we get FTR. FTR is back, and they will challenge for those titles eventually. After that, we got the match of the night, probably the best Iron Man match I've ever seen, ever. I cannot do this match justice. I will tell anybody to go and check this match out. It was 3-3, where the after that the match was over. It came out to be a draw, so MJF won by draw. But Tony Khan did say the match will continue, and we got a air tank hit into Bryan Danielson's face for him to retain the title. Lots of craziness happened during the match, which we will talk about in the news, which was very crazy. Very crazy. I will say this before we go into the news. Wow, what can I say? Revolution. The reason why I do like Revolution is because the card was very short. It was only 8 matches. Only 8 matches in this. Was it only 8? I think it was only 8 matches. I love that it was only 8 matches. When you go to a AEW match or whatnot, I mean, of their premium events, they are stacked. They're like 12 matches. That's too, to me, being 36. I'm sorry, I'm knocking on 40. No disrespect, but though it's too many matches or whatnot. This was a beautiful 8 matches, and the only reason why it was only 8 matches is because we had the Iron Man match. But this was enough matches to have a great show. I thought it was a great show. The Iron Man match was really, really good. And, you know, just like I said, there's only a couple of matches I just was like, wasn't feeling, which was, of course, the tag match, which was just a debacle of too many people. And, of course, the Samoa Joe and Wardlow match, which I just, you can send that home to your mom. I'm sorry, just wasn't a big fan of it. So I have a couple of news that I just want to talk about, and of course this is during the match at the Iron Man match. MJF got a lot of heat. And if you don't know what happened, MJF did throw some water at a little child, and it was apparently Sean Ross Sapp was like, this was not a plant. This was not, because usually they have plants there where, you know, MJF goes and does stuff, or any wrestler, they go and, you know, they're used to be abused there. Apparently, this was not the case. This was actually a real child that was there. They was not paying this child to do this. And the child truly was upset and not happy with the situation. So, AEW immediately went into damage control, where they gave him a whole bunch of memorabilia, lots of gifts and stuff. And one of their people, Amanda Herbert went out there to sit with him to calm him down a little bit. But man, it was a crazy, crazy fiasco on Twitter as well with this situation. Apparently, MJF took his character a little too literal this go around. And Tony Khan, of course, the AEW president and the CEO, apparently did not like what MJF was doing, and the character angle where he was being a heel. I don't think that was a heel move. That was pretty much a dickish move, not the coolest move in the world. But here's another thing that they were talking about. Apparently, it wasn't water; it was vodka, or it was or tequila. Now, I've been to a wrestling venue. I've been to numerous of them, and I've never thought anybody did hard liquor at these events. And I know there's beer there, but I didn't know that they did tequila or vodka. That was kind of weird, but who cares about that part? I could care less about that part. The part was where you threw the water or the substance on the child. And, at the media scrum, Tony Khan, before he sat down, he said, we had a conversation, him and MJF, before we came out here. We had a serious conversation, and I mean that it's not to be taken lightly. The young man named Titus, which was the young man's name, was a real pro about it. We'll see Titus again in AEW. I believe he's coming to the Sacramento show. I was just with him, and he was a real champ about it. Champions don't act. The champion did not act like a champion. Titus was great. Now MJF did say, because he's still in heel mode, Titus apparently looked at thirsty, so he gave him a drink. I was like, oh god, oh, he is just. I mean, say what you want. He is always. He truly believes in kayfabe, and all I can say about that is that hopefully everything is okay with the young man. My heart goes out to that young man, and MJF kind of tone it down just a little bit. We love you. I fucking love MJF. I do. I think he's one of the greatest heels in wrestling right now, next to Roman, who is the greatest wrestler of all time. So, but sometimes you gotta get out of your kayfabe and think about the children. It's the children. I could care less about the grown-ups, because I know that they're there to get the popcorn knocked out of their hands. But when it's children, you gotta think a little bit. And if it was a plant, then we can be cool with it. But that one was not a plant. So let's tone it down just a little bit. WWE truly wants Mercedes Moné. They really want Moné. They want her to death. Shout out to your boy Nico. I know he loves Sasha Banks. Mercedes Moné. Anyway, let's get into it. One of the hottest names in female wrestling today is, of course, Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks from the WWE. Speculation, rumors that she will eventually step foot in AEW. I did not know this. Dave Nelson of the Wrestling Observer spoke that Moné only has about 2 to 3 appearances left in New Japan. I did not know that. So eventually, that step would be from, New Japan going to, that AEW. I mean, I don't know what the money would look like, but, I truly think that the money would be way better in WWE. And, of course, they're going through their re-signing or whatnot. So we will see what happens with that situation. But Tony Khan did talk about it, and he did say that I have tons of respect for the IWGP Women's World Champion. She is a tremendous wrestler. I wouldn't want to comment or on a decision I have with any wrestler who is a free agent. In particular, a wrestler who is a champion of another of a partner of which is New Japan. Ton of respect for the great wrestler, and somebody that any wrestler's company would be very fortunate to have her in that organization. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. I'm going to say this a million times over. Whoever gets Mercedes Moné or whatnot will be winning. I truly think that she is one of the people that is going to tip the scales. Now, here's the thing. Mercedes is one of those generational talents that I think will uplift AEW when it comes to the women's division. The women's division is still lacking because of they need that star power. Unfortunately, we thought it was Saraya, but it's not. So we need to they still need to figure out what they can do, not what they can do to elevate that women's division. I mean, I don't know what more they can do, but I will say this, and it leads to my 2 cents or just a random thought. I truly think the person other than Mercedes Monet, that will be able to do that is, you already know who I'm going to say. You already know who I'm going to say. Jade Cargill, I think, is that person that can get them over the hump. Everybody that had that title, other than one person, which is the women's world title, the AEW world title, has been glorified. A lot of people don't even know who the very first women's title holder was. A lot of people don't know that. It's Riho. A lot of people did not know it was Riho. It was a very ugly belt. It was not the nicest looking belt. But Riho was the very first women's champion. They did not. Now, this was during, COVID era, so we can't really go through a lot of what happened at that time frame. But we do know for a fact that the women's division, especially the world title division, is not the best. It has not been the best. Even though we had other people that had that belt. Britt Baker is one of the only people that have that belt to elevate that belt to a higher stream, of course, with Thunder Rosa. Even her taking the belt off of Britt Baker did not do the belt justice. It has never done the belt justice. Now we have Jamie Hayter. Even Toni Storm. Toni Storm did not do justice to that belt. No disrespect to any of these wrestlers. I respect each and every wrestler I just spoke about. But you have a undefeated tank of a woman. And did I say she was beautiful? And she does media so perfect. I actually listened to the entire Breakfast Club interview with Jade Cargill, and I didn't know a lot of stuff about her when she got out of kayfabe and she talked to the members of the Breakfast Club. Go check that out. Go check that interview out. It's a great interview with Jade Cargill. I truly think that if you have a person who is legitimately 50 plus and 0 and she still retains the title, she has beaten everybody in that division. Everybody that y'all have threw at Jade Cargill has lost. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time for her to go to and elevate to that title, having both titles, defeating whoever is the champion at the time, holding both titles and making it legit? Here's the thing. Nobody is bigger than Jade Cargill on AEW Women's Division. That is a fact. That is a fact, and I will always say this until my dying bed. Come on, think about it. Look at it. She has destroyed. She has not even touched anybody that consists of on that division in the world title division, and she's the mid-card champion. She's the mid-card champion, and she gets more airtime than anybody. Come on. We talk about that, Tony Khan isn't the biggest fan of the women's division, and we heard from Big Swole that Diverse is not the best. Okay, let's change that up. We haven't had a African American champion there. Let's change it up. She is the most dominant person in that division. Not only her division, the entire division as a whole. So let's go ahead and get this taken care of, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Cargill, I truly think, will be the savior of the women's division if we book her the right way. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell me about tag in, the very first tag in, if you like it or whatnot. Or if I need to change it up a little bit, let me know in the comments below. Do you think that AEW Revolution was good? Do you think that MJF is a dick? What do you think Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné should be? And do you think that Jade Cargill, is the savior, should be the savior of the women's division of AEW? Once again, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all to death. The best is truly yet to come. Until next time, love, peace, and of course, wrestling.